Okay, now let's see the arithmetic and logical micro operations performed inside a CPU. That is, these operations will be performed by the arithmetic logical unit on the data from the registers. So let's look at the schematic here. Oh, this is the schematic for ALU and the some registers from the internal CPU organization. And these are the components and the control signals present in the organization. So let's say we want to perform operations, add R1, R2, that is, add the contents of R1 and R2 and store the result in register R1. So let's look at the all the components real quick. So here is the register R1, here is register R2. Now we know about the R1 in and R1 out control signals from the register transfer micro operation. That is, these control signals basically connect the register to the CPU bus. Now let's look at the ALU part here. The first of all, there is X register, which is temporarily storing the operand for the ALU. Now here is the one-way switch connected to the X register. So whenever we want to store some operand in the for the ALU operation, we store it in X using X in signal. Then this multiplexer performs the selection of the operand. That is, when we are incrementing program counter using ALU, we have to use this constant to add. That is, constant is nothing but instruction length. Generally, it would be 1, but for many microprocessors, the instruction length is more than 1 byte. So this is some constant, that is instruction length, to be added here. So whenever we are computing the next instruction address, that is when we are using ALU for the PC is equal to PC plus I, we are going to select this constant. And for other operations, we are going to select the data from the X register. So this is the job of or the functioning of the select line here. And here is the ALU, two inputs. This is another one that was not shown here. So this is directly, one input is directly connected to the input. So whenever we are operating with the ALU, first we are going to store one operand in the X register, and the second operand, wherever it may be, it is directly going to appear on the bus and coming to the ALU. So this is how ALU operation is done. And finally, we have this final Y register, okay, to store the result of the ALU. We know now what is the function or what is the significance of this register. That we know that the one operand is going to be present on internal CPU bus when operation is performed. After operation is performed, if the result is directly connected to the internal CPU bus, then it's going to create a combinational loop here, which is not desirable. That is why this Y register is connected as output of the ALU. So we can store the result of the ALU in Y register, and in the next cycle we are going to put this result on the CPU bus. So using the Y out signal. So these are the components and their control signals. Now let's see how the operation shown here is performed in the ALU. So the micro operations involved in this instruction are, in first T state, we are going to set R1 out and X in. What does this mean? We want to put the data from the R1 in the X register. So first of all, R1 out is set so that the data from the R1 register comes down to the CPU bus. At the same time, the X in control signal is also active. So this data on the CPU bus, that is R1 content, comes to the X register. So we have set our first operand for the ALU. Now in the next T cycle, we have these control signals active. In the second T state, the R2 out is on. So the data from the R2 is this time is on the bus. Now we want to add this data to the data from the X. So we have to select this select select line such that it forwards the data stored in X, which was the data from the R1 to the ALU. So this R1 comes here, our data from the R1 comes here, and the data from the R2 is already on the bus, so it is already present here. Now we want to add them using the ALU. So here is the ALU control signal which was not shown before. So these ALU control signals are set to the add. And we get the result R1 and R2. Yin is also active so that the result is stored in the Y register. So in the second T state, we get the R1, R2 stored in the Y. Let's come to the final T state. So this is nothing but we're going to keep the Y out active in the last T state. That is the result from the Y is on the bus now. Now where do we want to store it? We want to store it in R1. So let's put the control signal for R1 in active. So the data is on the bus and it goes to the R1. So that's it. We have completed our arithmetic logical operation as desired. So I hope you have understood how each component in this arithmetic and logic operation worked and what is the functioning of each control signal. In the next video, we are going to talk about some memory operations. Thank you. Please stay tuned for more videos.